Now, you'll see our muffin monster at work.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! At some point, we have to stop and realize enough is enough!
Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today. I made a partial video about this yesterday. I rewatched it and I don't want to post it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start all over. This Sunday, I took 4 hours of my precious, valuable time and sat through the March for Our Lives event. Oh boy, that was something else. So, one of the biggest highlights from that was that everybody thought that, just in typical leftist, and again, not all leftists are like this, but in typical leftist fashion, they all yelled. It's like you're speaking into a microphone. You have loudspeakers around you. There's no need to yell. I mean, like God. So, anyways, yeah, these people had yelled a lot.
We would not need metal detectors and clear backpacks and more weapons in our streets if there weren't weapons of war in the hands of civilians. Because at the end of the day, bullets do not discriminate, so why should we?
Fists up. It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to win!
It is our duty to win!
We must love and protect each other!
We must love and protect each other!
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
If we sustain our efforts, if we keep our heads unbowed, who can stop us?
And I'd like you to say it like you really, really mean it, and the whole entire world can hear you!
Newtown wants change. Parkland wants change. The world wants change. Give it to us now.
And just to get the point across, I guess, I don't know, be dramatic, rile the crowd up, whatever, it's kind of crazy. But now we're going to get into the meat of the things here. This March of Our Lives thing is a big detriment. So much. It's kind of like putting so much effort into something so small. I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but it just takes a simple, a very simple research to find out that the school shootings, that even today, it seems like we're going through about the same as what it has been for, since USA has existed, since school systems have existed. So, I mean, the last one was pretty bad, and there was one other than that was really bad as well. But, it seems like every decade we have at least 2 to 4 major ones, where there's a lot of casualties. This is not a new thing. This has happened since we've had schools. You're not going to stop this. You're never going to stop this. Back in the day with people having firearms, being allowed to have like a rifle in school, is the same amount as now, or I would probably even say less, as what we go through now with gun-free zones. So, you guys are not fighting the real fight. I mean, I saw that there were some people from misrepresented cities like Chicago and stuff there. But even then, there was one guy in particular, a young black man, who was speaking about his brother that he had lost. But then he started going off on the deep end towards the end. And I'm like, okay, I liked your first minute and a half of this. You're probably the only highlight here. And that was probably the only highlight overall, was that minute and a half before he spiraled down into nonsense. So, I wish you guys would pay more attention to other things, and we'll get to that here shortly. I guess we're going to get to it now. The bigger issue is this, is that, you guys are saying, school shootings are killing us and this and that. What about, and you hate lobbyists. You hate gun lobbyists. You think the 20 million that NRA is, you guys don't even look at the numbers. Okay, so Coca-Cola, they lobby, or they put in, I think, a couple $100 million. I could be wrong on that stat, but I know they're way up higher than the NRA as far as donations are concerned. And nobody gets mad that people get, kids, if they rely on that more than they do water, they develop type 2 diabetes. Some kids are born, with circulation problem, or not born with, but they start to develop circulation problems. If their mother drinks Coke all her life, or any sort of fucking carbonated sugary beverage, before she has a kid, her kid has a higher chance of turning out to be fucked up. So, I mean, nobody's dealing with those issues, and yet some of them actually account for deaths. There's kids that when I was younger, we did not have this many fat kids. We did not. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. Look, I'm yelling like them. My God, it's like you get mad because people are taking arms and because of their feelings or home issues or medications that they're taking. Real problems there that we should be addressing, not the inanimate object, the firearm. But you guys don't say anything about all these deaths that result in the tons more, hundreds, tens of thousands more than firearm deaths. And pharmaceuticals. I mean, lobbyists, love, pharmaceuticals. It's just, why aren't you guys making a big stink of that? It's, that's a big deal too. A lot of these mass murderers, they go through psychotropic drugs, they go through legal and illegal drugs. A lot of murders and stuff are caused, or actually, it's even more of the suicides. Suicides are, I think, a big result of the connection there between suicides and medications are, the doctors aren't really paying attention to their patients, and they just prescribe them with whatever drug to get them out of the fucking office. And then these people will go and find, whether it's a gun or not, they will find a rope to hang themselves. They will find a knife to cut their throat. They will they will fall over a ledge. I don't know. They will just do whatever to get to their goal of murdering themselves. You guys are discounting that. There's, it's just ridiculous. The other thing too, you guys kept saying in there that we're people pro-gun proponents like myself, you're accusing us of telling you to shut up.
To all the people who are telling us to shut up, be quiet, wait your turn, we call BS.
We're not. Keep going. Keep mouthing off. It's kind of fun. All we ask is that you at least do some homework in the process, and you haven't. The only homework you've done are the talking points that your talking heads, like CNN and all the MSM outlets, are giving you. You're not. So keep on talking. That stupid ass commercial. Oh, you guys just tell us to shut up. Whatever. Just believe what you want. Just like you believe that guns kill people. We're not going to be. Apparently, we don't have the power, whether it's through common sense or whatever, to let you know that you're dead wrong on a lot of these things, and on a lot of the things that you actually think are true. So yeah, we're not telling you to shut up. It is pretty funny when you're wrong, and maybe you'll look at it in a year or two, or 5 or 10 or 20, or never. But if you ever get the chance to look at yourself now, like me when I was younger, I kind of am not embarrassed, but yeah, there's some things I wish I didn't do when I was younger that I wish I would have known now, but it is what it is. This whole event too is more a concert than anything. I had to find myself either fast forwarding or cutting through the music event. It's like, okay, when everybody has a song, and then there was one song where apparently nobody wanted to sing. It was a young woman who sang "Heal the World, Make It a Better Place," the Michael Jackson song, and they kept saying, trying to have the audience sing, and the audience was not singing, not moving. Funniest shit ever.
Sometimes words just aren't enough. So I decided to put together a little video of myself singing, along with some other people. And if you know the lyrics, please sing along. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal its joyful face. When the world we once believed in will shine again in grace.
Then why do we keep strangling life? When this earth crucified the soul. Though it's plain to see this world is heavenly. In God's glow.
Make a better place for you and for me. For you and me and more. Make a better place for you and for me. The world we live in, save it for our children.
It's like, I mean, and all she was doing, in my opinion, was trying to get her voice out there. This was her platform for that. It is what it is. Now, granted, she was a student at the Eagles. You know, she was an Eagle, is what she said. I'm a proud Eagle, whatever. So good for her. You know, she wanted to give back to her community and her school by doing that. It did feel like that was a secondary goal, though, in regards to her primary one of getting her voice out there. So that's just me being a dick. So after all that is said and done, after watching the whole 4-hour segment there, I got to the conclusion that everybody is more focused on the supposed their desire to want the gun to be the focus here, when they're not focusing on what actually took place that could have prevented this event and other events in the making, and similar to this. The real focus of the Parkland massacre, the real scenario that happened is the officers did not respond the 39 times or 26 or 23 that Sheriff Scott Israel was saying in the CNN town hall. But whatever the number is, it was a high number that they never reported it to a national database that could have prevented him from purchasing a firearm.
The men and women I've worked with for almost 40 years, we know how to keep America safe.
I want to point out that we did invite the FBI director and somebody from the field office in Miami to come here tonight to answer your questions. They declined, but their excuse is that this is part of an ongoing investigation.
But it is our job to make sure that we do everything in our power to ensure that does not happen again. Does not happen again. Does not happen again.
At least in the legal sense, and that's what he did. He purchased the firearm legally. Yeah, granted, we don't know this, but he may have been able to purchase it on the side somehow. We don't know. We will never know that answer because you guys are too busy trying to say the gun is the problem in our gun laws. So yeah, it was your guys's sheriff that actually fucked this whole thing up to start. And then he told all the officers to stand down. And I just hear through the grapevine that there's 2 officers who did engage. And this could be just a story, I don't know. 2 officers that just engaged, they were suspended a week ago or 2 weeks ago because they made the other 4 officers look bad. Something like that. So anyways, you guys are not focused on the real problems. You guys are also not focused on the fact that he was bullied quite a bit, that his dad had died years ago, his mom had recently died, so he was going through a lot as well. You know, he was bullied, he also bullied other people. You guys didn't point any of this stuff out. These are all very important facets, and you guys just choose to blame the gun. You know why? Because you guys are being influenced by the mainstream media and corporate giants and all these bigwigs who just want to make the change to take our firearms away. That's basically what it comes down to. And you can say all you want that you don't want to take our firearms away, but every time we watch these videos, there's somebody's words just utter that nonsense. Oh, let's just ban all semi-automatic firearms. Or then you hear the people in the crowds that are saying, yeah, I will not rest until all the semi-automatic, all the weapons are gone from the world. Okay, another thing to keep in mind here, people, is an AR-15 is a sporting firearm. It is not a weapon of war.
But an AR-15? That is a weapon of war that no citizen needs to possess.
Big difference between the M16 and that is one's semi-automatic and one's automatic. I mean, if you don't know this by now, and you are saying that the AR-15 is a weapon of war.
An AR-15? That is a weapon of war.
How is it a war when nobody's firing back locally, huh? If you want everybody to be disarmed, and everybody has been for most of the cases here, yeah, it's not a weapon of war. There's no war when you're not fighting back, and you're not fighting back. You're not. Your sheriff didn't. Your sheriff told everybody to stand down. Didn't want them to fight back.
The men and women I've worked with for almost 40 years, we know how to keep America safe.
Since the time that I came out here, it has been 6 minutes and 20 seconds. The shooter has ceased shooting and will soon abandon his rifle, blend in with the students as they escape, and walk free for an hour before arrest.
What I saw was a deputy arrive at the west side of Building 12, take up a position, and he never went in.
We know how to keep America safe.
So, no, it's not a weapon of war when nobody's going to fight back. It's just merely a weapon that's going to be used to eviscerate people. Big time. So, get over yourselves in that stupid-ass description there. And your audience, again, just keeps it just wants to ban everything. That's all you advocate for. You do want to take the firearms away. I'm not going to let you do that. You know, it's my right. You know, I don't care if you think that the Second Amendment only relies to hunting. Like Senator Nelson said in the CNN town hall, my father and I used to hunt and we never need anything like big like this. Well, yeah, you know, good for you for using it for hunting. I have mine for protective purposes, and also in case, you know, our government fails us and it turns against us, and something along the line happens where we have to defend ourselves as a citizen. So yeah, get over yourself. If you guys are going to be making the United States into a more totalitarian state, then fuck it. You know, it's on. You're not going to be taking it away from us. You'll take it away from them. You'll probably take down all the people who are on your side at this point first. You know, just like Hitler did, and Mao. So I mean, fuck it. If they want to go that route and not learn from history, that's their problem, not mine. Okay, you guys are also threatening to vote. Oh my god, that is too funny. Okay, so here's the funny part with that. You guys can threaten to vote. Yeah, you can threaten to vote. Yeah, you are going to vote. You are going to vote. Granted, there will be a lot of kids who are going to probably be swayed that way. But you know what? Your guys' there was one of the family that died. Her name was Meadow, I believe. And Meadow's family were pro-gun advocates. You guys are censoring them. You guys, at the last minute, you guys did not want them to speak at this town hall. Well, guess what? There are probably hundreds of thousands of other people like her age, and the family, the boyfriend of the family was a similar way, who are pro-Second Amendment. They're going to vote too. They're your age and they're going to vote too. So you can threaten all you want. Threaten all you want. I think all these people understand that they're going to have to go out and register just as soon as they turn of age as well. So go ahead and spew that threat like if it's a fucking big deal. We will be ready. The other thing, okay, so you want everybody to be 21 to purchase a firearm. Okay, so you're basically saying that you're not a responsible adult. You're basically saying that you want the government to control what you can do until you reach the age of 21. Let's put it this way then. Okay, if you want that to be the case, you need to be 21 to buy a car, to be even driving on the streets. Until then, have your mom and dad pick you up from school or whatever up until you're 21. If you want to buy a house, wait till you're 21. If you want to start a family, you have to wait till you're 21.
I don't wanna go to school. I just wanna be a fool. Just wanna play video games. Everything else is really lame.
How about this? This is probably, all these things that have to do with finances and whatnot. But the biggest one I think is this: the age of consent. Let's wait till it's 20. Let's wait till you're 21. If it's under 21, your parents have a right to, withhold you from doing certain things. You're not an adult. Again, it's saying that you're not responsible. You're not an adult. You're not adult enough to handle a weapon. You're not adult enough to protect your family if you're between the ages of 18 and 20 with 364 days. That you are not old enough or responsible enough. You can have all these other things, but you're not old or responsible enough to protect your family during that 3-year span. That somebody could assault you, offend you, hurt your family. You will not have the option. That's what they're saying. So if that's the case, yeah, make all these other things that you're able to do when you're 18, like enlist in the military. All these things, change it to 21. Let's see what happens when we start putting those infringements on your rights. So yeah, it cuts both ways, my friends. Last thing I wanted to make a note of was Cameron Cassay. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Cassay. Cameron Cassay was in this video. I think it was about the 1 hour 30-minute mark or somewhere around there. I have notes in the comments, you know, with timestamps of certain comments that I've made on that video. He said, and he talked fast. He was just basically saying the weapons that were everything that's the most common about all these tragic events. Blah, 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 blah. But anyways, okay, I'll slow it down for you. What he said was, we've had so many school shootings the last couple of years. We've had so many mass shootings the last couple of years, and the one commonality that we notice is the gun. The commonality is the gun. The commonality is the gun.
Shooting after shooting, the American people now see one thing they all have in common: the weapons.
And then everybody cheers again, just like fucking moths to a flame. You know, they were all cheering. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this one down for you as well. That's like saying, that's like addressing a dish that you're eating at a restaurant, and saying there's only one ingredient here that actually makes the whole dish. No, it's a blend of everything and effort that you put into something that makes something. So it's not just the gun. The gun was an inanimate object that this person used, and he probably would have used something else. Maybe he would have made bombs. I know that there were some like hidden flash grenades, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember if there was other things that they found in his possession. But a person will use whatever means necessary. The lady on the bus in Las Vegas a couple weeks back who used a knife to almost kill a kid, threaten a kid, stab the mom in the abdomen, injure another 5 people or 4 people with her knife before slitting her own throat. They're going to use their own weapon. This was on a Greyhound bus a couple weeks ago. You know, everybody's... You know, there was a mass knife attack in a school about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5, maybe, I can't remember, where this guy just sliced and diced maybe upwards of 20, 30, or 40 people. You can't tell me that people will not find a way to do their own thing. You eliminate this, you eradicate this, again, civil war will start. That's basically what it would come down to. I'm not saying that's what we're threatening, but I mean, that's what I think historically would be happening. It's already happened before. But the other thing that's going to be happening is you're going to give more power to the state. The state that you don't... You want them to tell you what to do here, but then you don't want them to tell you what to do in other things. I don't get you guys. You guys are fucking hypocrites and contradicting yourselves all the time. So anyways, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think these kids take it too far? Do you think they're focused too much on the fucking gun issue at this point? I do. You know, and then there was one guy, the one who had... I don't know, he reminds me of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He was one of the speakers there, and this is his second mass shooting. Because he's been to a couple of schools apparently, and there was a moment where everybody was like quiet because he was just screaming, "We need to arm teachers! We need to arm teachers now! We need to arm teachers!" And I'm like, okay, well, this kid is kind of getting it. And I'm not saying arm all teachers. I'm saying, you know, arm, you know, certain ones tactically, whatever, and the ones that are willing to go through the courses if they want to actually be proactive and protect their students. But then he started saying, "Arm him!" You know, the crowd was quiet and like kind of starting to boo and whatnot, and then he's like, "Arm them with pencils, arm them with books, arm them with paper." I mean, there's even, and then everybody started cheering. It's like, okay, come on, what?
A lot of people are out there saying that we need to make America safe again, and I know that we can't. We cannot make America safe again until we arm our teachers. We need to arm our teachers. We need to arm them with pencils, pens, paper, and the money they need. They need that money to support their families and to support themselves before they can support the futures in those classrooms, to support the future that sits down at that desk waiting to learn.
And then there's also a school apparently in California. I was hearing from Matt Christensen's website or his podcast yesterday. Basically, there's another school out there who is arming the teachers in California, arming the teachers with pail buckets full of rocks, so that way they can throw them at the perps. Which again, I guess if there's you got to follow rules, I guess, and I guess they're trying to do what they can. I don't know, but and again, things take time to pass. You obviously can't do overnight. Teachers with concealed carry or anything. So I don't know. I think it's all weird. So the other part of this whole thing was, again, like I said, it was a concert. And there was all these people with their own, excuse me. I think Demi Lovato was there. I've seen a couple of pictures of her on, Google with her security guard. I'm pretty sure he concealed carries. I think it was Miley Cyrus that was singing. It looked like her. I fast forward through a lot of the singing. I could only tolerate so much, and the crowd was going crazy and going bananas. And I think David Hogg had to go. Whoops, I said his name. Mr. Hogg had to say, "This isn't a concert. Just want everybody to remember that." And then there was this one guy. I don't remember his name, but he's the one that told Marco Rubio, "Will you stop accepting donations from the NRA?" It's like, okay, well, that's the NRA isn't the NRA already has the school program that you guys have not taken advantage of since 2012. That schools have not taken advantage of since 2012. Programs out there for you guys for schools to take advantage of. I posted that in a lot of my comments as well during this video. You guys are refusing to see the answers right there in front of your fucking face, and it's pretty fucking annoying. So go watch Nuance Bro's recent video about where he's questioning people at the gun event. It is hilarious at the March for Our Lives event. It's hilarious. You got to watch it if you want to see like what type of answers these people give, what their defenses are, and how he schools them. I wish there was. I think there was an event in Phoenix, and I didn't go to it. But now I wish I would have, because I would have done the same thing, man in the street. Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Leave your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, hate, criticize my view, whatever. I really don't care. Just go for it. I hope you guys all have a great day regardless. Take care. Bye.
Just you and me. We hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
Now you'll see our Muffin Monster at work.
Future. Enough is enough!
Just shut up already. But regardless